Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So finally, your D-Day has approached, and uh, you'll be appearing for your examination on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. So with that in mind, I wanted to come up with this AFCAT D-Day strategy video, and we'll just keep it a little bit quick and very brief over here so as to understand what exactly your D-Day should look like. So this is what I promised to you in my previous video, and this is what we'll be talking about. So the first point I wanted to talk about is getting stuck. Okay, so your AFCAT examination, it's a 2 hours of examination and 100 questions, right? That means 120 minutes and 100 questions. And I wanted to tell you over here that there is a slippery slope, and the slippery slope is with a few of the questions. Okay. And those few of the questions will be very tough. But these kind of questions will be very much minority in number. Let's say one, two, three, or maximum in your entire paper, you will get 5 to 7 such sort of questions. Okay, taking into consideration of all the sections, okay, all the 100 questions, not more than 5 to 7 questions will be that, completely bouncer, it will be like completely Greek to you. Okay. So the first point, the first strategy I wanted to dole out over here is to not getting stuck. Okay. If you are getting stuck, so inculcate this habit of not getting stuck. Okay, why am I saying, let us say you spend like 3 to 4 or even 5 minutes of your time in certain question, and at the end of the day, at the end of that time, you are not able to solve that question, right? Your entire 3 to 4, 5 minutes will be completely wasted, right? So avoid that. Don't be, and to avoid that, there is two strategy. Okay, there is 30-second rule. Okay, at max 30 second until up till at max giving 30 second. If you are able to find some solution, if you are able to find some breakthrough, then only go ahead and approach the question. Otherwise, just skip it. Just respect it for the sake of the examination, right? That's one. And number two is that, let us say you have studied time, speed, and distance, right? So when I was appearing for in one of the examination, they asked like, some chopper is here, okay, inside the line of control at some, let's say, 200 kilometers. At let's say at this point, chopper is there, and chopper can fly at the maximum speed of, let's say, 1,000, let's say 800 kmph, and an enemy has fired a missile from this 10 kilometer inside of this place. So at what speed? And also in this chopper, there's another one missile which can travel, at the speed of, let's say 1,000 kmph, and this missile is traveling at the speed of, let's say, 600 kmph. So at what time this should be launched, and what exactly it should be, this chopper should launch, so that you avoid this missile to getting into our territory, right? So these sort of questions you might want to avoid, because these are not your low-lying fruits. Only what I have been telling you throughout my video, throughout my teaching. If this is your tree, okay, only pick up the low-hanging fruits. Okay, only pick up the low-hanging fruits, right? Okay, first you pick up these ones. Okay, if there is any fruit over here, then second you pick up these ones. Okay, and lastly you will go ahead for these ones. Okay, so no ego that we have studied time, speed, and distance, so that all the questions from time, speed, and distance I should be able to do. It's nothing like that. Okay, if you have not studied, let's say, decimal fraction, it will not happen in the case that you won't be able to solve anything from that. Decimal fraction, everybody knows that it's an easy chapter. Percentage, it's an easy chapter. Average is also a little bit okay, easy chapter only. Time and work, again, an easy chapter. So even in those easy chapter, if they give you, let's say, some XYZ complicated question, just try to respect it, right? And do not get stuck. Remember this 30-second rule. You have 100 questions and it's not necessary for us to solve all the 100 questions. Okay. Even if we are able to solve, let us say 55 questions correctly, that means 165 marks, right? We are good to go. That essentially means that we can chuck out 45 questions. We can simply skip 45 questions, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So this is that one point I really wanted to mention that everyone should keep in mind is not to get stuck in the examination. Okay. Don't know, just respect it, just be real quick. You should just take a jiffy or 10 to decipher whether you really want to do it or not. That's it, and just keep moving. Okay. And in line with not getting stuck, we have devised this ABC strategy as mentioned to you. This strategy I used to leverage during my CAT preparation, and I think this preparation, this strategy can also be handy for you as well. So what I was telling you, just imagine, just there are only 10 questions, okay? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. We basically do it in three iteration. A stands for Abhi Karo. This is your iteration 1. Do it now. Okay, now. Let us say in the first iteration, in your A type of question that you are solving, you are done with question number 1, 2, 4, 7, 9. Okay, and let us say 8. These are the questions you are done with. Okay. So this will be your first level of iteration, and then the second level of iteration will be your B type of question. That means बाद में करो. ठीक है, बाद में करो, which means what? Do it later, right? Do it later. So in your second iteration, you will pick up all the questions that you have left. Okay. In the first iteration, when you were doing question number 1 to 10, actually in your examination there will be 100 questions, but let's just for the sake of simplicity, I'm imagining over here that there are only 10 questions, right, ladies and gentlemen? So now you must have seen question number 3, 5, 6, and 10 like that. Okay. 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 10 were the questions that were easy to solve. You knew it, you could have easily solved it without using a pen and paper, without using much of a thought. You know the concept is really ingrained in you and you can really go ahead and just do it. Right? Those are those A type of questions which you need to do it in the first iteration, right? I hope I'm clear. And while doing the first iteration, you must have come across question number 3, 5, 6, and 10 as well. Okay. So in that you realize that question number 3, 5, and 10, you know it. Okay, you know how to solve this question, but the only thing is that it's going to take a little bit of your time to solve it. Okay, so we'll prioritize it as B type of questions. Okay, and that we'll be doing in no baad mein karo type of question that we'll be doing later. So in the second iteration, let's say 3, 5, and 6, you are done, right? So once you are done with question number 3, 5, and 6, the last iteration, let us say there is a question number 10, which is completely Greek to you. Okay, you will be picking up this type of questions, right, ladies and gentlemen? Disclaimer over here is that you may or may not have much of a time remaining after doing iteration A and iteration B. It's okay, and you will be just left with only a few of the questions for your C type. C type stands for chhod do. Okay, leave it. Okay, leave it. Only if you are done with A and B type of questions, you should go ahead with C type of questions. Right, ladies and gentlemen? Let's move with attempt versus accuracy, right? So to understand that, we should take into account that every one of us want to reach this number called 165. And 165 means we need to have net 55 questions correct. Right, ladies and gentlemen? So let us imagine if you are doing 60 questions with 90% accuracy. Okay, so that means what? 54 correct and 6 wrong. That means 54 into 3 minus 6. How much is that? 150, 12, 162 minus 6. That means 156. Okay, it will get dicey, right? you cannot again do 60 questions with 80% accuracy. The mocks that you have given, the test that you have given for XYZ coaching mentorship institutions, you know how much is your accuracy, right? So it is pretty much confirmed that you cannot, take on your bet at 60 questions, right? So let's check. Let's just simply check this one. Okay, one moment. Now let's just take like you are attempting 70 questions with 90% accuracy. Okay. 90% accuracy means 63 correct, 7 wrong. That means 63 into 10 minus 7. That means how much? Which will be, 180, 189. Okay. Uh, 182. Good. That's a very good marks. Okay. So at least 70 questions you must target with 90% accuracy. Let us say if your accuracy is 80%. Okay. So 56 correct and 14 wrong. 56 correct into 3. How much is that? 150 plus 18, 168 minus 14, right? Okay. Again, your case will become what? Little bit dicey. So even 70 is not a good number for you to chase, even if only if you are like, I'm attempting only 70 questions, but please do it with good amount of accuracy. Now let us say 80 questions with 90% accuracy. Okay. For 90% accuracy case, what will be happening over here is that 80 questions, that means 72 correct, that means into 3 minus 8. Okay, how much is that? 70 into 3. 210, 216 minus 8, that means 208 you will be getting. That's a very, very beautiful kind of mark that you can get in your AFCAT examination. Let us say what happens at 80% accuracy and 80% question. Okay, so that means 64 correct into 3 minus how much? 20, 16 wrong. Right. So 180, 192 minus 16. How much is that? Okay. 176. So 176 you will be getting 80 questions with 80% accuracy. You will be getting 176. 90% accuracy you will be getting 208. Okay. So minimum 80% of questions you should target. At least you should target 80 of the questions. Okay. We'll also try to analyze what happens at 75% accuracy as well. Okay. Let us say 80 questions, 75% accuracy. 75% accuracy means what? Okay. 75% accuracy means 60 questions correct. So 60 into 3 minus how much? 25. That means 20 wrong. That means 180 minus 20. Okay, you are almost touching the cutoff. Okay, so if you are doing 80 questions at 75% accuracy, so if your accuracy is hovering somewhere around 75, which will be the case for the majority of the chaps out there, in that case you are not advised to attempt even 80, you are advised to attempt 90. Okay, let us see what's happening at this 90 questions with, let's say the case of 80% accuracy. Okay, and then we'll evaluate 70% accuracy. So how much is that? 90, 72, right? 72 questions correct minus 20 minus 18 correct, 18 wrong into 3. That means 210, 216 minus 18. Still you are getting 198. Okay, even if you are doing it at 80% accuracy. At 17% accuracy, 63 correct into 3 minus 27. That means 3, 18, 27. Okay, 13, 156. Okay, 156. Again, it is not advisable. So, even if you are attempting 90 questions, try to attempt with 80% accuracy, right? So, if you are doing, let's say 90 questions with 75% accuracy, what will be the case over here? The case over here will be that, you are getting net how much correct? Okay, 45, 22.5, 45. That means 22.5 questions you will be getting wrong and then 90 minus 22.5 is how much? Okay, 90, 70, 67. So that means 67.5 questions you will be getting correct into 3. How much is that? 22.5 and 180. 22.5. 202.5. Okay, and minus 22.5, 180. This will be the case for your 75% accuracy. Okay, so the thumb rule is that try to reach your attempt at 90. This is what I wanted to talk, that you should not have lower number of attempts. Okay, because the cutoff itself will be 165, close to that. I mean, this is what we should target. This is the least number we should be targeting, so that this has been the highest cutoff up till date. So we'll be targeting this number with at least 75% accuracy to breach the cutoff comfortably, right? So this is what we are looking at. 90 questions at 75% accuracy. Okay, 90 questions, you just have to do only 68 of them correct, and you can do like 20 to 22 questions. Okay, wrong also, that won't do much of a problem. Okay, lastly, I wanted to talk about option Charlie, basically option C. Okay, wanted to talk, and I'm not teaching you to do keeping a ponky over there in your examination for sure. The only case that I wanted to mention over here, the first thing I wanted to mention over here, that in a research, in some random research, okay, what that research was, do not ask me, and what that source was, please do not ask me that as well. The probability of getting C as your correct answer is 27%. Okay. So if A, B, C, D are your answer, in the best of the cases, in a general scenario, what should be the case? 25%, 25%, 25%, and 25%. But for option C alone, it is 27%. Okay. So, if you are like, if you're just damn sure, okay, fine, C is not the option, then obviously you won't take C as your option. But let's say A, B, C, D, you don't know which one is the answer. You completely don't know. Okay, you are not getting any hand and feel of anything, and you have like, let us say, 10 questions remaining, right? And you have just done, let's say, 70 questions. That's it. So you are like, somewhere at the brink, understanding what I mean to say. So that means you need to improve your attempts. Okay, improve your attempts. So in that case, even if you are like attempting 20 questions, okay, and 20 questions, and in all of these you have marked C. Okay, so if you have marked C, okay, so what will happen over here is that in 20 questions, even if you are getting, let us say 20 questions, worst case, you should get how much divided by 4. Okay, you should get at least 4 or uh, 4 or 5 correct, right? So if you get 5 correct, okay, 5 into 3, how much is that? Okay, so 5 into 3 is 15 minus 15. That means it will give you how much? 0 marks. Okay, you are not losing anything, and you are not gaining anything. And this risk is worth taking. Why? This risk is worth taking because if you don't attempt this question, you won't get anything. Okay, and I'm talking the probability wherein you don't know anything about all these 4 options. That means 20 into 4, 20 questions, 80 options, you know no shit about it, right? This is what I'm talking about. And that's not going to happen the case in your examination. Let us say you know something about it, okay? Even if you get like 6 correct, so 6 into 3 minus how much wrong? 14, which will fetch you how much? How much marks? 18 minus 4. 18 minus 14 plus 4 marks you will be getting, which will be better than 0. Okay. By, let's say, by any chance, if we get 7 correct, okay, minus 13. That means 21 minus 13. Okay. 21 minus 13, that means plus 8 marks you will be getting. Let us say, if you are a little bit more lucky, so 8 into 3 minus 12. That means you will be ending up getting 12 marks. Okay, 4, 8, or 12 marks. Okay, rather than getting what? 0. So take the risk. I'm just telling you guys to take the calculated risk. Let us say only if there were only 10 questions. Okay. So these 10 questions 10 questions, you will not have that bad luck that you won't be able to attempt, at least two of these questions correctly. Okay. Even if you are attempting two of the questions correctly, 6 minus 8, you will be getting only minus 2 marks. This is the risk basically, right? And anything above that, we are just only 20%. Okay. Anything above that, let's say 3 or 4 correct into 3, 3 correct. That means 9 minus 7, you will be getting plus 2 marks, and over here minus how much? 6. That means you will be getting 12 minus 6 plus 6 marks. Okay. So easily you can be here or here. Only if you are, you have a very, very bad luck on the D-Day, you will be getting this mark. Okay. And this scenario gets more prominent in plus 4 minus 1 scenario. But unfortunately, your exam is a bit more competitive. That's why it's plus 4 minus 1. Okay. And that's how things like, but still we can take all this kind of calculated risk, right, ladies and gentlemen? So I encourage you to take calculated risk, but I do not encourage you to do inky pinky ponky, not at least in your maths and reasoning. Okay, only if you are able to solve this, you will be doing it. If you are not able to solve it, just respect it for the sake of respecting it, for the sake that it has been, the question paper has been set by Indian Armed Forces, Indian Air Force, to be more specific, and we should respect it, right? Okay. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wind up, and I wish you all the very best for your examination. And thank you so much for giving out your time to me. I wish you all the best once again, and we'll keep in touch. And Jai